"You don't have to hide your pain, Alice," Erida said softly, her voice a soothing balm to Alice's wounded spirit. "Let me help you." Erida, an army nurse with a compassionate heart and a keen eye for suffering, saw in Alice a reflection of her own struggles. Her marriage, a casualty of neglect and infidelity, had left her feeling empty and alone. She saw in Alice a kindred spirit, a fellow traveler on the treacherous path of life, a soul yearning for love and acceptance. Over the following weeks, their connection deepened, their friendship blossoming into a passionate love affair, a forbidden dance of two souls seeking solace in each other's arms. Erida, with her unwavering strength and unwavering loyalty, offered Alice a safe haven, a refuge from the storm that raged within her. She intervened in Aaron's violent outbursts, her voice a fierce shield against his rage, her presence a calming influence on Alice's fractured psyche. But Alice, her spirit fractured, her trust shattered, couldn't fully surrender to Erida's love. She craved the connection, the warmth, the sense of belonging, but the voices in her head whispered doubts and anxieties, poisoning her heart with fear and suspicion. One night, as Erida slept peacefully beside her, Alice made a decision. She couldn't stay, couldn't risk further heartbreak, couldn't bear the weight of another broken promise. She slipped out of bed, her movements silent, her heart heavy with a bittersweet ache. She left a note on the nightstand, a whispered goodbye, a plea for forgiveness. Then she was gone. She boarded a Greyhound bus, its engine a rumbling lullaby that carried her back to the familiar streets of Memphis, to the home of her father Ernest and his new wife, Annette. It was a desperate gamble, a desperate hope for a fresh start, a chance to reclaim the fragments of her shattered identity. But her father's home was not the sanctuary she had hoped. Annette, a woman hardened by her own struggles, resented Alice's presence, her coldness a constant reminder of Alice's unwelcome intrusion. "I don't want her here," Annette hissed, her voice laced with venom. "She is my daughter, Annette, for the love of God. She has nowhere else to go," pleaded Ernest. He was now going by his middle name. His first name brought back too many memories of crimes he could never forgive himself for. "Look, it's her or me, Ernest. I do not want her around my girls," Annette warned. Alice, her heart aching, her spirit crushed, knew she couldn't stay. She had to find her own path, forge her own destiny, escape the suffocating confines of her past. Alice showered, got dressed, and left Annette in her father's home that evening. She moved in with her cousin Fran, and decided it was time to change her life for good. Alice looked in the mirror and started cutting her long green braids. For as long as she could remember, she insisted on having green hair. It just felt right. Now, it was time to leave that childishness behind. She cried silent tears when she looked at her hair reflection. She no longer looked like the girl she once knew. The next morning Alice walked into a recruiting station, her head held high, her eyes filled with a newfound determination. "I want to join the Navy," she declared, her voice firm, her spirit unbroken. As she signed the enlistment papers, a wave of both fear and excitement washed over her. She was leaving behind the shattered remnants of her past, embarking on a journey into the unknown, a journey that would test her strength, her courage, and her very soul. And as she stepped onto the bus that would carry her to boot camp, she couldn't help but wonder what fate awaited her, what challenges she would face, what triumphs and heartbreaks lay ahead. But one thing was certain. Alice, the broken girl from the Memphis projects, was ready to fight for her future, to reclaim her identity, to become the hero she was always meant to be.